Hey Davey, I appreciated your video response to AnoNameJW. And it's funny how they do come in and post these comments implying that we were stumbled out of the truth and all this nonsense. And they don't seem to realize that we see fallacies in almost everything the Watchtower Society writes. For instance, in looking at the daily text today, I brought it up when I watched your video. I said, let me see what fallacies are in the daily text. Because just about every day I can bring up the daily text and I can see fallacies jumping out at me. So I brought it up, and check this out. See what you think. Sunday, July 4th. Just a little while longer, and the wicked one will be no more. When Satan, Adam, and Eve rebelled against God, wanting to decide for themselves what was right and what was wrong, the human family was set on a disastrous course. Here what the Watchtower Society is doing is implying that if you think for yourself, or if you try to decide what is right and what is wrong, then you are on a disastrous course. So they're correlating free thinking with a disastrous course, which is BS propaganda. Then the society goes on and says, before the global flood over 1600 years later, they quote now from Genesis 6:5, the badness of man was abundant in the earth, and every inclination of the thoughts of his heart was only bad all the time. So we see a situation that was in the earth before the flood. It was allegedly bad, according to Moses, who wrote the 6th chapter of Genesis. But then the society goes on and says, about 1300 years thereafter, Solomon found conditions to be so bad that he wrote, I congratulated the dead who had already died rather than the living who were still alive. So better than both of them is the one who has not yet come to be, who has not seen the calamitous work that is being done under the sun. So here we see the Watchtower Society alleging that everything's bad because Solomon said he was having a miserable time. Maybe he was depressed, we don't really know, but you know, supposedly everything's bad. And in the time of Noah, everything was bad. So everything's bad all the time, according to the Watchtower Society. They saturate the dub mindset, the dub mind, with the idea that everything's bad. Then the society goes on and says, some 3,000 years more brings us to our day, when badness continues to flourish. While it is true that badness has been around for a long time, there is a greater need for deliverance by God's kingdom now than at any other time. Well, here we see again another fallacy. The idea that we need God's kingdom now more than ever before. Everything's bad. I was out this morning driving around, no top on the Jeep, out in the sun. It was beautiful out. You know, blue sky everywhere. There were no chemtrails in the skies, people flying over spraying anything. It was fine. I enjoyed it. Then I read this daily text, and my mindset is, everything's bad. Wait. And it erases the idea everything's good. If I didn't have my Watchtower, my Watchtower They Live sunglasses on, where I put the sunglasses on and I read this stuff and I can see very clearly all the fallacies. You remember that movie They Live with Roddy Piper? And it was Keith David, I think, and it was the John Carpenter story about when they put on the sunglasses, they could see who the reptilian people were around them, and they took the sunglasses off and they looked like everyday normal folks. Well, that's how I view the Watchtower literature now. I have to put my Watchtower They Live sunglasses on to be able to see the fallacies. I mean, they're all over the place. It's creepy. And that's the JW truth that AnoNameJW speaks of. And it's funny when you see somebody with this mindset and they're so blinded, and because they don't have the Watchtower They Live sunglasses so that they can see for themselves how ridiculous this nonsense is, how they're being saturated all the time with everything's bad. Well, I can assure you there, Davey, and AnoNameJW, if I was sitting in the Kingdom Hall today, in that, you know, that lit pseudo light room for 3 hours having my weekend shot to hell by propaganda and hearing things like this, starting my day with the bad mindset. Don't forget everything's bad. Don't forget. Wake up and read the daily text and see everything's bad. Don't forget that. It's bad. We need God's kingdom. Don't forget. It's bad. I would be bored out of my skull if I had to live that rank and file, jump through the hoops, banging on doors, going to those boring ass meetings, listening to them boring ass kingdom songs and kingdom melodies, how bad everything is, being told that, yeah, they have the truth all right. Their truth is crap. Ciao.